Hey Greenfinch, this is Adam.
And Emily.
That was good. Just thought we'd tell you a little bit about a story of ours from the summer. We know that you're in your series talking about miracles and unexpected things from God, and so we had a bit of an experience like that in the summer. Do you
Yeah,
want to start
some
off?
of you know, if you're on social media, we went to Indonesia, which was at the top of our bucket list for a really long time. We saw amazing things, and we saw orangutans, and we got to sleep in the jungle and sleep in a treehouse, and so it crossed a lot of our boxes off for the summer. It was definitely a trip of a lifetime.
hmm Part of that trip, we were on an island called Lombok, which you might have heard of because it received a couple of very large earthquakes in the summer. And the second of those earthquakes, we were actually on the island at the time. So we were traveling from, it's just off the coast of Bali, which is really a popular tourist resort. And we were just traveling from Bali, spending a couple of days on Lombok before going elsewhere. And one night at about 7 p.m., we were just getting ready to leave for dinner, and suddenly the ground started to shake and kind of rumble.
It was just a split second where we thought, oh, is it just an aftershock? Because there had been a few earthquakes before, but as soon as like the lights went out and just stuff started crashing, and so we kind of just huddled together, and it seemed to go on like forever. It was probably like 45 seconds, but yeah, I've never felt anything like that. It was like being on an amusement park ride, like up and down and sideways. And I think we were just, yeah, huddling together, and we were covering each other's heads. Um, and we heard bricks falling and dishes falling, cupboards falling down. We had no idea what was happening. Everything was pitch black.
Of course, this all happened at nighttime, and so we didn't really have a chance to see the state of the house until morning. And when we went back in the morning, the whole house was devastated. The kind of central structure of the house was made of bamboo, so that stood. But they had surrounded the house with brick walls, and all the walls had fallen in. So the kitchen was devastated, and the bathroom was devastated, and all the stairs had crumbled down to pieces. But there was one spot in the house that was untouched, and that was the exact place that we had been huddled together praying and taking care of each other in the middle of this horrible event. And it was really moving for us in the morning to look at how God had kind of taken care of us and how we hadn't known what was coming, and there's no way to foresee something like that, and there's nothing we could have done to prevent it or to mitigate it once it had started. But to see the way God took care of us and carried us through that moment was quite profound. And so it really encouraged us to just remember that there's times in life when it feels like life's crumbling in around you, and you think all I can do is really cry out to God. And we found ourselves just crying out to God in the middle of it, but you don't really know what's going to change and how that's going to make any difference. And often it's when you look back on those moments that you can see and trace the hand of God protecting you. And so sometimes you can be in the middle of a miracle without even knowing that you are. We kind of expect the really spectacular stuff, and we expect to look at a miracle and see that's what happened. That's what it was like before God turned up, and then that's what happened when God turned up. But often in the middle of it, in the chaos of everything that is surrounding you, you don't even know that a miracle's taking place. And
Mm-hmm.
that was very powerful for us.